Hello everyone, welcome to this class on spreadsheets for engineers, and in this class let's learn this if and nested if statements and also and or operators. And in this class in this video let me explain you about using and operation or using and operator. How can we determine the result of students? For example, here we have 5 students and 4 different subjects. We can create an analysis first whether it's true or false, and then using this result we can find out whether passed or failed. So first of all, let me tell you why do we use if, nested if, and or operators and all. So first of all, if statement, basically it is used to give two results. Let's say any two things. Let's say, for example, yes or no, true or false, pass or fail, something like that. So let me first illustrate that with an example. For example, let's say in this cell A4 we have number 45. What I'll do, using if statement, I'll just try to do like this. I'll click this cell and I'll say whether it is greater than 25. Suppose if it is greater than 25, let it display yes to me. Let me just type that yes within apostrophes. Suppose if it is not greater than 25, let it display no to me. So let's close the bracket. So now the answer, if I click yes, the answer obviously it has to be yes. Suppose if I type it 20, it will display no, obviously. So I think you can easily understand. Similarly, here I will be using this and operator. I'll determine whether it is pass or fail, whether these students have passed or failed. So if I'm using if along with that if I'm using and operator together in a single statement, that is nothing but called as nested if statement. So nested if is nothing but when I'm using if along with if I'm using another operator, that is like and operator or operator, then it is nothing but an nested if statement. So first let me determine using analysis. Let me use this and operator over here, and let me use this if statement over here, the nested if statement over here. So if I use and operator over there in analysis, and operator basically it is used whenever all the inputs satisfies a given condition, only then it will give a the result as true. Suppose even if one of the inputs doesn't satisfy the condition, it will give false. So for example, here let me try to type and let me try to say this one is greater than or equal to 35, comma, this one is greater than or equal to 35, comma, and this cell is greater than or equal to 35, comma, and this cell I couldn't select, instead I will type G6 greater than or equal to 35. Let me close it and let me click enter. Obviously it will be false, because only one cell, actually only in thermodynamics, Ram has scored greater than 35 or equal to 35. In all other subjects he has scored less than 35. So obviously it will be false. So if I try to drag over, I'll get here, and only in this Krishna gets true, because Krishna is the only person who has scored greater than or equal to 35 in all the 4 subjects. Now let me determine a result that is passed or failed using and operator and if operator. So that is nothing but called as nested if. So let me first type equal to if, open the brackets, and then inside that let me create an and statement, open the bracket. Again, this one is greater than or equal to 35, and this cell is greater than or equal to 35, and this cell is greater than or equal to 35, and G6 I have to type G6 greater than or equal to 35. So suppose in exam, if you are scoring 35 equal to 35 or more than 35 in all the subjects only, you will be considered pass. So only if you are scoring in all these 4 subjects equal to 35 or greater than 35, you will be given pass. Even in one of the subjects, if you are scoring less, your result will be fail. So let me type like this, let me close the brackets. So even here I have to close the brackets. So here, so okay, let me close here double times. Let's see what I have. Suppose if I am not getting it, let me just try to close it over there. Okay, here it's asking me to close over here. So I'll close here, and after this AND statement here itself I'll try to close it. So now it could be correct. Yes. So now it's showing fail. Obviously it's fail. So let me try to drag over, and only for Krishna it's showing passed. That is, only Krishna has passed because he has scored more than 35 or equal to 35 in all the subjects. So it's only Krishna who has cleared all the 4 subjects. That is the reason why I'm getting like that. So using AND operator and if statement, if I'm trying to use like that, I'll try to get like this. Suppose let me try to copy this data, and let me try to replicate it for okay, what I'll do is I'll try to copy this completely, and using OR operator and if statement, let me try to get that result. So let me try to copy paste over here, and let me delete this analysis and result. Now using OR statement, or suppose if I'm using OR statement itself, the word itself says even if any one of the inputs satisfies the result, it will give true. Even if only when all the inputs doesn't satisfy a condition, it will give false. Okay, for example, if I'm trying to type OR, suppose if I'm saying this one is less than 34, less than or equal to less than 35, let's say less than or equal to 35. If this one is less than or equal to 35, here I'll be using less than. In AND operator I used greater than, so less than or equal to 35, and this G13, it is G13 I'll type it because I couldn't select it. Less than or equal to 35. Okay, let me close the bracket. Okay, obviously only you can just see, even if any one of the statements is less than or equal to 35, it's giving me true. Okay, now obviously only for Krishna here it's giving false. So for example, let me try here, let me try to type the result. Let me try to type the formula to obtain the result. If I'm trying to use OR, that means in the exams, even if you are getting less than or equal to less than 35, let's say less than 35 in any one of the subjects, even in any one of the subjects, actually here I have put less than or equal to 35. If you just look at or clearly less than or equal to 35, but let me put only less than 35, because if you're getting exactly 35, you're not considered fail. You'll be given passed. So let me not give less than or equal to 35, let me give less than 35. So similarly here, okay, so obviously the here it will not change. So here let me try to type the if and nested if statement. Let me try to type OR. Let me type OR. So the formula is nothing but going to be, so OR, this one is less than 35, this one is less than 35, this one is less than 35, and this one is less than 35. So in exam, even in any one subjects, if you're scoring less than 35, your result will obviously be fail. Okay, else if your result will be pass. So here I'll close it like this, I'll get fail obviously. Suppose if I'm trying to drag it over, I'll get passed. You can see only Krishna has passed in all the 4 subjects. He has got that final result as passed because he is the only student. Suppose if I'm trying to change the result, let me try to type here 30, enter. So obviously it is changing. So that is just, so I hope you have understood this if nested if statement and OR operators in this video. So let me meet you in some other video. Thank you.